Does your car ever touch? People think owning a new car is nice, which it is, especially at a young age. But today, I'm going to go over some of the top things that I hate about my 2023 Elantra N and some issues I had along the way over this 5,000 miles of ownership. So you know what? Let's get right into it.
Got Patron in the zone, boy.
Tiffany, where you going? We going shopping at Tiffany. There you go.
Which doesn't mean that I hate the car. It's just things I think the manufacturer, Hyundai, can improve on. And also, I want you guys that are in the market to buy this car to be aware of these things before you buy it. Alright, so the first thing I want to address after driving this car for 5,000 miles, that is the paint is terrible. I'll show you guys up close here. Obviously, every car gets little rock chips, whatever, but you see every single thing. The paint must be very thin. I've only hand washed this car every single time. Every car gets swirls, but it's very noticeable. But I had to buff the whole entire side of the doors, the top of right here, on both sides, all the rocks kicking up. That's one thing. Either I would PPF the car if you have the money, or it's just one thing. Like, I don't care personally, you know, I'll just buff it out. But that's one thing I would definitely have to consider if you're getting this car. The tripod real quick, but if you take a look, I did install the rock chip guards in the front and the back. They're fully adjustable, so you can move them in and out depending how much you want them out. They do help prevent, you know, rock kick up in dirt. That's the whole main reason I put it on there, because I seen a couple, like, what's the word? I seen a couple scratches across there, so I figured let me put them on there. It stops the mud, especially when it rains. So yeah, looks pretty good, but we did that. Now let's talk about the next thing. All right, so we talked about the first, I don't know, would you say an issue? I would talk about the first thing I want to let you guys know that I don't like. But, you know, let's go inside and let me show you the first issue I actually had with the car. All right, so another issue I had, well, the first issue I had with the car, it was about 1,000 miles or so. The little piece that keeps the armrest down to keep it even ripped, so they had to replace it. The thing was, they couldn't just replace the little piece of rubber. They had to replace the whole entire armrest, which wasn't a big issue. But, you know, it is annoying to sit in the dealership for a couple hours. That isn't the biggest issue. The real big issue that I have not been able, well, there's two issues that I have not been able to have them diagnosed yet. I have to go to the dealer probably this week, is that when I drive, there's a clunking noise in the front right suspension. But not only that, that's annoying too. But when it rains, it literally pours in the car. Let me show you guys right now. The door was never open today. Mat is wet, and look at this. Soaked. Damn. The door was never opened, and even when it snowed, the whole entire mat was soaked. The whole floor was almost pooling of water. But as you can see, there's literally rain inside the car past the seal, and the water's all, I don't know if there's a gasket problem or whatever. That needs to be sorted out, because that is not gonna fly. But let me tell you the next thing. All right, so before we talk about the next thing, let's go back into the clunking noise in the front right suspension. When you go over a bump, if you hit a pothole, which I always try to avoid, but even when you hit a crack in the road, sometimes you will hear a little thump right here, like when you're driving. And I don't know what it is yet. I don't know if it's something bad in the suspension, but I got to bring it back to the dealer. They can fix it under warranty. Everything's, by the way, has been covered under warranty so far, so it hasn't been that big of an issue. It's just something that, you know, it's a little annoying. The car has 5,000 miles on it, but it is what it is. Let's talk about the next thing. All right, so let me tell you guys about two things I thought I'd actually love about the car that I actually hate about the car. So right here, on this piano black, I thought it would look cool. It looks sick. It actually does look cool. But the thing is, I don't put anything here. My phone's always kept here. It's always or on the seat, so there's nothing here. It's all scratched. I don't know how it gets scratched. No one puts anything in the car. You know, it gets so scratched so easily. Whatever, that's not even that big of a deal. It is what it is. But the real annoying thing with this car is the whole octane learning thing, right? You would think, oh, that's great, and I thought it was great, right? Oh, you could put whatever gas in it, right? So if you want to feel like you want to put 87 in it, it's a little cheaper, you know, the car can handle it, you know, it just detunes it. Now, when you put 93 in it, which I do a lot, well, mostly 93, you know, it gives it more horsepower, and, you know, it makes the car faster. Well, that's what you think. You put 93 in half the time. If you don't go on the highway, drive 10 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, 7 minutes, whatever it is, I don't know, do 10 poles, whatever it is, the car doesn't unlock full power. I don't understand what the whole thing is they really should have made it easy. They should have made it easier. You did a couple polls, or maybe there was a button you could switch and it switches it over, or you know, maybe there's a thing where you can click it and it's an octane learning process where it would sense the octane in the car, not every single time you start it up. And the thing is too, you know, I octane learned it. For example, I probably drove the car, I don't know, 5-7 weeks on only running 93, right? And every single time you refill the car, even if it's at a half a tank or whatever it is, it resets it. So that is two things I hate, the piano black and that. So yeah, that's probably the last thing I wanted to talk about was the wheel hop. The wheel hop is so bad in this car, you feel like you're gonna break your teeth and the transmission mount is gonna snap, the engine mount is gonna snap. The thing is though, the reason why I didn't do it right there, well it kind of did it, not that bad, but it didn't really do it. The problem is, I put all season tires on it, which mitigated a lot of the risk. You can see it in one of the videos I prepared it for winter. You know, if there was water on the ground, those tires would have been slammed so high up, it would have been ridiculous. I put all season tires on it, which kind of corrects the problem a little bit, but in the rain it's terrible. On the dry pavement, it works, you know, it's a little less. But there is a way to prevent that, like all the things I said, right? So I will be making a video on that soon, one of the next upcoming videos. I'm just waiting to do that before I go to the dealership, and then they can fix the whole, you know, suspension clunking issue. I don't want them to say that me, the wheel hop, did any of that, right? So I'm gonna do that. And, you know, it could be, you know, we did add some horsepower. I'll pop up the video. We added the cold air intake, which added like 13 wheel or whatever horsepower. Nothing crazy, add some torque. And we're gonna actually add some more mods to the engine bay. Stick around later this week or maybe next week. I'm gonna go get that mod and go pick it up from someone, and we're gonna continue that. But yeah, so like I said, I'm very fortunate enough to have owned multiple cars over my lifetime. I'm only 18. I plan on getting another one. You guys got to stay tuned for that. Guys, I want you to drop a comment down below. What car should I get, or what car do you think I'm going to get very soon? Drop a comment right now. We're gonna go viral with the next car, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm still gonna keep the Elantra N, but yeah, no, I love this thing. Like I said in the beginning of the video, all the things that I'm saying here doesn't mean I hate the car. It just means that for other people that are looking to get the car, you might run into the same things, or you're not even that, you know. I just want to bring light to the situation. But you know, other than that, it's been Andrew, and I gotta go.